Good evening and welcome to Friday night's Fools Rushing, back in our regular 9 p.m. slot. If you've been anything like me this week, you've been waking up every day seeing various sources suggesting today is Sandro Day, and much like most commercial celebrations that people insist we celebrate, like me, you are left bitterly disappointed with what you receive by the end of the day. We have much to discuss tonight, starting of which the question that I stole from Twitter and posted on our socials today. We would love to know your answer to this question, but don't fret, it'll be coming back up on the screen just after I roll the titles.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Swindon Town into the promised land.
So I certainly hope you've had a good week since the football on Monday. And I hope whatever you've been up to, you've had better weather than I have up here, because I kid you not, it's been fucking lashing it down all week. Absolute carnage. But yes, I say the big question that I stole from Twitter was, which of these are you going for? You have 6 choices of cups of tea and various strengths. Then you've got the choice of sandwiches. If it's not clear on the screen, it's ham and cheese, egg and cress, smoked salmon, BLT, tuna mayo, or prawn mayo. And then your choice of 6 cakes: scone with jam and cream, carrot cake, Victoria sponge cake, macaroons, lemon drizzle cake, or profiteroles. As someone who doesn't drink hot drinks, I think C probably looks the best. And then I went for tuna mayo and carrot cake. Please do let us know which variations you will be having as I introduce tonight's panel, starting with BTB himself. How are you, Ben?
I'm very well, hidden behind cake, but I'm all good, mate. Here we are.
You are there. Now, I was leaving it up on the screen for a bit. You would have seen the picture earlier. Do you remember what your choices were, sir?
Yeah, I do, but I've changed slightly.
Oh, go on. Tell me why you've changed as well.
With the C, because that's a proper cup of tea. Because a proper cup of tea is the same colour as He-Man. Ham and cheese sandwich, because that's the nicest one out of a lot of them, though there are nicer sandwiches available.
Controversial. What would you go as a nicer sandwich?
You got a chicken and bacon sandwich. You got to have that, really. That's particular favourite of mine. Now, I did choose profiteroles this afternoon, but I've changed my mind and gone for old Vicky Sponge. I've changed my mind for that. So I've gone cup of tea, C, ham sandwich, and a Victoria sponge, and that will be nice. my little light lunch.
We've got Liam joining us. Happy Sandro Eve. Well, depending if you believe said sources. Evening, Liam. Hope you're well. We've got Steve there saying evening all. Way too many in the know people who actually know nothing. I would be inclined to agree. Evening, Philip. Evening, everyone. Please, can we have a win tomorrow? Is this not good for the health? And he's gone with 1, 5, and F as his options. Then we've got Steve back in touch. TE sandwich is egg and cress. Everyone getting involved early. Sean's here as well. Good evening, Sean, who's saying B, 5, and E. And Steve following up with his cake. He's gone for the Victoria sponge as well. And good evening to Claire, who has jumped in via Facebook as well. Live chat available on YouTube and Facebook. Twitter comments are being monitored as well. I can see those. The latest notification was Woody sharing the thread. So as he's done that, it's only right to welcome him onto the show. Good evening, sir. How are you? How's your week been?
My week, apart from being struck down with some sort of stomach bug, my week has been good. Apparently, Swindon played on Monday. I've completely forgotten about that. And I'm very intrigued by this food post, because I'm assuming it's related to obviously British food, being from No Context Brits, and there is not a fucking coronation chicken sandwich in sight on that middle row, which really disappoints me. But to give you my options, C all day long for a cup of tea,
C does seem the popular one.
Yeah, venturing on D if I'm really tired. I am a sucker for a prawn mayo. I do like a prawn mayo. It is my go-to when I'm in a rush.
Okay.
And do you know what? The last one was really hard because I'd quite happily take all of them. You may be fooled by my athletic physique, but I probably have to go with the traditional one that I like the most, which is lemon drizzle. As well. I was just about to take a photo of that then to post it on the socials. But,
don't worry, it'll be back up shortly because we've got many other panelists yet to ask. Mike's the latest one to be in touch. Evening, Mike. Hope you're well. He's gone for C1 and A because I had D3B earlier, so assume that's gone now. I've eaten it, as he says. Joe has been in touch. Evening, Joe. Hope you and the family are well as well. F3 and F. That's very strong.
Somebody likes a black tea.
No milk.
Yeah. My daughter has that. My daughter has black tea. She doesn't.
Liam says lemon drizzle is god tier.
Yes, Liam knows.
And Sean's sent a follow-up question. As it's annual cricket club barbecue tomorrow, hot dog or burger? Ben, you go first.
Ooh, for me, it has to be a burger, but it's a close run thing. But a burger's running. It can be a barbecue at the cricket club tomorrow.
Yep.
Ooh. There you go.
Ooh.
Woody, hot dog or burger?
Probably a burger because normally when you get a hot dog, it's like tiny little shitty sausage thing, isn't it? So, like, if it was like a proper jumbo sausage, like butcher's hot dog, then it'd be a hot dog all day long.
Like when you see the German stadiums where you get that bun and the sausage is about that big.
Yes.
You handle one of them, couldn't you?
We're doing great. We haven't even introduced the rest of our guests yet. We're 9 minutes in, we're talking about hot dogs, cakes, and tea.
Well, I'm quite happy to talk about anything but football today. So
fuck football. Fuck
football is done.
Joe sent a follow-up. Tolerance.
Now I feel bad.
And Arch is agreeing with Ben, which I'm sure is something many people will be doing tonight with his views on Swindon Town. Poor choice of sandwiches. Steve saying hot dog. Do you know what? I would go hot dog, off a barbecue.
By the way, 3 Minute Bob has tuned in 3 times and come back out again.
Old school 3 minute. Do you know what? So many of our current viewers, who we are very fortunate to have, will have no idea the reference of 3 Minute Bob. Absolutely sensational. I think it's only right at this juncture, if we're talking food, someone else who is, I think it's not beyond the realms to say an expert in this field. Evening, Friday Night Joe.
Yeah. I had a feeling that was going to be me somehow.
So start us off with the hot dog burger debate off a barbecue.
I agree with Woody. It depends on the sausage when I get there. If it's a decent sausage, then I'm a hot dog man. But if it looks a bit shitty, then I'll have a burger. But yeah, generally decent sausage, hot dog and onions. Lovely.
Rob on Twitter. Evening, Rob. Hope you're well, pal. But evening, gents. Cheers. Fucking starving now. Is his comment. And to give you your options from the no context Brits post earlier, what are you going for? Tea, sandwich, and cake? Joe?
Well, I don't drink tea. I only drink coffee. So I'll go for probably E's most likely what I drink. Just a little splash of milk. Again, the sandwiches. Not the best choice, but I'll probably go for a BLT out of that lot.
Okay.
And then I had one about an hour ago, so scones and jam and cream.
Oh, did you have a scone a little while ago?
Yeah.
A Friday night treat.
Yeah.
Friday Night Joe, do you put the cream on first, or the strawberry, or the jam?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
I'm a cream first kind of guy, but
I'm a cream first kind of guy, and I've had big arguments with Sarah about it.
Why does it surprise me that you've argued with Sarah about whether it's jam or cream first?
Cream on the jam's just on top, and then it's the sandwich.
Hey, I don't know if you saw the comment earlier. Appreciate that, AC. Food chat that isn't cheese related is great content. Liam's back. Someone needs to challenge Ben on his curry choice earlier. What curry did you have, Ben?
I saw that.
The korma was a joke because there's a watch I have, and I went korma because kormas are like, you don't go to curry and have a korma because that's just offensive. But I do like, and everyone, like someone said, "Oh, that's entry level." I do like a tikka masala because I like the taste. I do like a tikka masala.
Mate, you can like what you like.
I
We're
know.
not haters here.
Well,
Except for
Liam is
korma.
obviously hating my tikka masala.
Mike said, and we do still have two other panelists to welcome on yet. But Mike said, in Corfu once, we spent the equivalent of 80p on a hot dog. It had 3 sausages topped with cheesy chips and salad. Couldn't finish it and didn't have dinner in the evening. This show is great. And friend of the show, Shah, Evening Shah, she's been in touch as well. Definitely see ham and cheese, lemon drizzle. And she would go hot dog too, but the northerner in her will always go for pie and gravy. There you go. Should we get another panelist on? We've got another one snuck on in the lobby as well. Everyone's queuing up for food chat. Let's welcome on young Richie Rich. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Have you had a good week?
It's been uneventful. But Monday was, apart from the game, was all right. It was a good journey up to Scousland. Went and saw the sights, as you would have to when you're up there. Unfortunately, I had to go to Liverpool Stadium. But Everton's wasn't too bad. No, I gotta say, it was quite impressive. I thought and obviously it's the anniversary of the Hillsborough disaster. This weekend as well. So it was good to see the Hillsborough Memorial there as well. So that was good.
Absolutely. And it'd be rude for me to not ask your opinion. So let's start with the barbecue, burger or hot dog.
I'm a sucker for a cheeky hot dog. So yeah.
A lot of sausage fans on this panel.
Yeah.
A lot of sausage fans.
There's a sausage fest, eh?
Absolutely sausage fest indeed.
Cheesy sausage.
And the big one, what do the rich fans like?
Well, I'm trying. Do you know what? I was trying to compare the tea that I've currently got to what colour
You've taken it in like a Dulux sample.
Yeah, I'm really analysing my tea at the moment to think, what the fuck colour? I think it's between B and C. So
quite weak with that, Rich.
Yeah, between those two. Yeah, and then I'm not a cold sandwich kind of guy, unfortunately. So I'd have to go with ham and cheese.
And you turn it into a toasty, I bet.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah,
cake-wise?
Fucking hell. God, mate, that's such a difficult choice.
Do you know what? It wasn't difficult for me.
Apart from carrot, I mean, macaroons I wouldn't even class as cake.
Macaroons I wouldn't even class as nice.
Yeah, they're like, you know, what you have in France, isn't it? But
I tried my first one in Italy randomly.
I love scones, and by the way, I don't give a fuck whether or not it's jam or cream. As long as it ends up in my mouth, I don't care. Victoria Sponge, love Victoria Sponge. Lemon drizzle, love lemon drizzle. And what was the last one?
Profiteroles.
Profiteroles. Yeah, I love profiteroles as well. So
can I just say,
I'm a sweet kind of guy.
If we are when we do our end of season novelty awards, like we did last year, if we have a comment of the season category, can we all remember this one from Mike, please? No one wants to get into talking about football. In true STFC style, the first 20 minutes look positive, but we all know where it's going.
And we haven't even got all the guests on yet.
We haven't even got everyone on yet.
Someone's got to get sent off in a minute.
C1 and E for her. Liam is saying he agrees on the T, Rich, between B and C. Charmaine there as well. Yeah, macaroons are pretty good. And then Arch saying, do you have your tea in a sippy cup, Rich?
Fuck's sake.
Can I just interrupt? Sarah's texted me with her. She's gone for D, 4, and B.
Okay.
Now D is the reasonably darkish tea. 4 is, if I remember, the BLT,
BLT,
and
yeah.
B is the carrot cake.
Yeah, carrot cake is god tier cake for me.
What?
Yeah,
Um,
carrot cake's quality. Close second to
Someone who has disagreed with all of my choices today. We're going to welcome him on next because he's only going to be here for about 10 minutes before he disappears, as per usual. Welcome back to Fools, Kieran.
I'm just
We've
saying
got a guest on today, mate.
Huh?
We've got a guest on today. That's the boy.
I am
Yeah.
What a fucking delight. Right. So yeah, I'm only here for the food chat because the football's shit. But honestly, you've picked a shit tea. I said that. Don't love Wednesday.
Wow.
But anyway, we're gonna digress because I'm not gonna turn into Rich. And
We don't want to talk about Ben's D, no.
I not particularly know. There's not much to talk about.
Like Swindon is
But
absolutely
honestly, Fyfie, you've picked a fucking tuna mayo sandwich and a carrot.
Tuna mayo is
Anyone
quality.
single.
Fucking hell. Savage as fuck. Fyfie, you pick tuna mayo. It's no wonder you're single.
It fucking stinks. It fucking reeks. It's disgusting. And also, if I'm going to
Tuna is
Barking, they're only
disgusting.
offering me a burger or a hot dog. I'm fucking leaving. I'm having both. If it's not both, I'm leaving.
Go on then, mate. Quickly, what's your choices so we can welcome our last panelist on and actually start football chat?
So if it's tea, it's C. If it's coffee, it's F. Sandwich BLT all day long because the rest is shit. And the cake is the cake's got to be a lemon drizzle, but if lemon drizzle is not available, with Victoria sponge, and if it's not a Victoria sponge, it'll have to be a scone with cream on first. And the rest, if it's not any of them, they can all fuck off.
Okay, fair enough. We do have one more panelist who was one of the first to join and is the last to be welcomed on. But he is now #on air. Evening, Gary.
Even though
How are you?
I just had to check. I was on the right podcast, not the Great British Break Off.
Break off?
Break
20
off.
minutes of food. Break off. 20 minutes of food chat.
Gotta love
football.
food chat.
The football's awful, I know, but geez.
It's because we want to talk about Sandro and he's fat.
God's sake.
Fuck off, Sandro.
Have you had a good
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
good. Apart from the weather's been awful, yeah, as well.
It has been awful, is it?
Yeah.
And
Lobby for 20 minutes.
the two important questions then. Let's fly through them. Burger or hot dog?
Both, same as Kieran. If I can't have two, then I'm not interested in staying.
Okay, very fun. And what levels are we going to with you, sir?
C for, I'll tell you what, give me a packet of crisps over bloody cake any day.
Oh,
But yeah, I'll go away.
controversial.
What flavour crisp though, mate?
Pickled onion monster munch.
Oh, good cap. Top tier.
Flaming hot for me.
Somehow, us just chatting nonsense about food for 20 minutes has entertained Joe at least. So that's one person entertained by us, lads. That's all we set out to do.
Right, let's close down then. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, Fools. It's been a pleasure. How many beers has Pie Man had? Well, the answer to that is none, because apparently there are none in the house. So he has texted and got permission to drink Sarah's gin tonight instead.
Where's she? Is she on a date?
She's off her mate's house tonight.
She's at her mate's house tonight. So he has texted and got permission for.
She's just messaged in and said, "Fuck the lot of you by putting jam on with whole cream on first."
You can just flip it upside down though.
This is my thing, Rich. It doesn't matter because you just put it the other way round. You're
If
eating
you're
the
not
same
happy
thing.
with it, just flip it upside down. Everybody's happy.
Anyway, this is going to end in a disaster. Shall we talk football instead, guys?
No.
No.
No. Okay, fair enough. Woody's gone. Kieran's about to go as well. So we Swindon back at home tomorrow. First of two successive home games. I can tell by the reaction to this, everyone on tonight is absolutely buzzing at the prospect of Barrow and Bradford coming to Swindon.
Both
We were playing until just now.
Let's try and build, at least for a little bit, before someone mentions the S word properly. Let's try and build a little bit of positivity. Ben, I've said. Why
am I your go-to?
No. Hear me out. I've said when everyone on Lower League Look the other day, I think you were part of 4 Swindon fans who one after the other said lose as their prediction. I've said I'm pretty confident we could get a point tomorrow. Do you agree with me now that you've had some time to think about it?
And I've got absolutely nothing to back this up whatsoever because we've been absolutely fucking bad. The only thing I'll go is at some point, surely we're not going to lose all of them. Surely we're not at some point we are going to.
It's a fair point.
Lose a game at some point, and I think that point might be tomorrow. Might be. So though all through the week I said we're going to lose 3-1. Bollocks to it. We're going to win 2-1.
Nice. I like the change of attitude.
I don't know who's going to score.
That's the gin talking.
We might need a couple of sending offs, but we're going to fucking win tomorrow.
Ben is on the gin. Ben is on the gin.
Definitely pissed.
Are you, Joe? Let me ask you, as Jody continues to try and work out, well, basically a formula that works to start with, and then formulate his plans for next year. Are you expecting maybe a couple of changes in personnel, or do you think he's kind of sticking to just one set of players and everyone else he's already made a decision on?
Yeah, I think in the last couple of games he's given minutes to players that probably didn't deserve to last the game. Darcy, Shade, etc. He sort of made a point of keeping them on the pitch for pretty much all the game just to see what they've got. I think so. I think he is starting to think about next season and things, but you still got to be respectful to the league. You still got to, there's still teams playing for playoffs and relegation and things. So, we can't just go out and make 11 changes. We still have to be respectful for all the other teams. So,
of course.
I mean, the fact is we're shit anyway. Most teams are going to beat us regardless, but we got to make it look like we're at least trying.
Trying is the operative word there, isn't it, Rich? Because a lot of criticism, I've been guilty of saying it a lot over the last few weeks, is the way I've kind of phrased it is there's a way to lose and we haven't been doing that. So do you think, I mean, I know there's been very little in the way of content come out of the club, which there never is when times are hard, but is there anything to sort of suggest that maybe there'll be a slight attitude shift and they'll at least give off the impression that they're trying in these next couple of home games?
No, I think if I was Jody, I would just completely playoffs, like we've all said, is out of contention now. So now is just about like giving other players a chance. Like our season is done. I think obviously we just saw the news. Obviously, Dworzak signed his first professional contract today.
Give him an hour ahead of when we were talking about it.
Yeah, give him a few games, to get up to speed. I think that's the main thing you can give young players, and especially if we're trying to build a young team anyway, which hopefully we're not doing next season anyway. But it'd be great for him to even just get some, game time. But in terms of the current players, I think. Well, I'd like to think Jody would have the players that he wants to keep in mind and play them obviously for the rest of the season. The players that he doesn't want next season or haven't really had a chance against him, he might give a run out to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I in terms of attitude change,
to see Mike's comment there back to what Joe was saying. Listening along after the event, Mike's just put playing the same 11 is disrespectful to the league.
Continuing to play like we are is disrespectful to the league, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's a write-off now. I think
disrespectful to football.
I think we've just got to get ourselves through these last few games of the season. I think somebody put on Twitter, I think it might have been you, Fyfie, like this season can't come to an end soon enough, really.
No, that's not me. I love it. I want this season to just keep going because it's given us nothing but banter content from our own club. Who remembers the good old days of sort of October where we were all taking the piss out of teams like Crawley? And now look at us, absolute fucking basket case club.
Well, we are still taking the piss out of Crawley because they're in the relegation zone. So
they're probably the one.
We're not
team
safe
that
yet.
We can still take the piss.
Yeah, we're not mathematically safe yet.
they could send us down for all week. Yeah. For all we know.
They fucking can. I'll tell you now, if they send us down, I'll be fucking raging. We wouldn't be doing Fools for a while because I'd be smashing my laptop out off of every single wall nearby.
That's right. It's always better without you anyway.
Woody, this hasn't gone to plan in terms of trying to build positivity. Can you help me, please?
Yeah, I'm probably not going tomorrow. That's how depressed I feel about watching Swindon at the moment. I don't know. Part of me, I kind of agree with Ben. Surely this losing streak has to end at some point. It's got to end at some point.
Season.
Yeah, next season. I guess it almost feels like if Morris changes a few things, I'd like to see him put some of the, like the Jaws acts and things like that in. It kind of takes the pressure off, and I guess maybe that is a bit of a positive thing. Does it take the pressure off Morris? No, but does it take the pressure off the players? Yes. But the thing is they want to sell season tickets, so we'll probably win this week.
2 emails this week I've had. 2 emails about season tickets.
Yeah,
that's 2 more than I've had.
I've had a couple.
Yeah, I've not had one. Yeah, they obviously don't want me back. obviously been watching Fools Rush In.
I think I'm still in Rob Angus's bad books, aren't I?
Rich, they probably sent it to your junk emails, mate, where the rest of the team should be.
But I guess the one thing is, if he does play players that are a bit more fringe, I think we might see a better performance just because those players are hopefully going to have a point to prove. Especially, I don't know, I haven't really listened to it because I've actually got to a stage where I'm bored of even listening to the pre-match conferences now. But
it's always the same.
Yeah, but I don't know if he mentioned whether like the likes of Aguar are going to play or anything like that. If I just think that you put players in like that, they're going to fucking work their art out, and we might actually get players playing for contracts. And I think I don't buy this kind of. We have, the players on 2 years will be safe. They won't be safe because if they're shit, they'll be rid in the summer anyway. People will get rid of them. So it's, I think that what we want to see.
We get really good players.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah. But we
get statistically very good players.
Statistically very good players. Statistically, whatever. But the so. I guess the positive thing is can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? I don't think so. But
it can.
Yeah.
Relegate.
Who was it said last week?
It can.
Who was it said last week? Woody says, "Can it get any worse?" Swindon Town says, "Hold my beer." Kieran,
I'm looking forward to us beating Bradford on Tuesday night, though, because we know that.
You know what? Again, that'll be the only win between now and
that'll
the
be
end
the
of
only
season.
win. Yeah.
It's when we're on the pitch with the old banter. Right name.
Kieran, when you come on, you normally come on with a smile and a bit of youthful exuberance and positivity. Can you help me out at all here?
The most exciting thing I've got in Swindon the last 2 weeks is a cheese grater. It's a circle, and you can just twirl it round. You put the cheese in the bottom, you just twirl it round. That's great. Football-wise, there's fucking nothing to be positive about. We are wank. You can't. This is the worst I've ever seen Swindon. I enjoyed the football more under John Sheridan because at least it was just funny and we're only getting relegated to League One. If I knew it was going to be this bad, I enjoy John Sheridan football more than I'm enjoying Jody Morris football, which says a lot. Jody Morris is a really short guy. He was lovely, but fuck me, I don't think he's proud to be number one.
What's got to do with anything?
I don't think people understand how short he is. Ben is quite short, and he's shorter than Ben.
Jack, my 13-year-old Jack is the same height, if not slightly taller, than Jody Morris.
Exactly. I think we should swap him with Ed Brand, and we'll start winning more games. Jody Morris, he just can't see above 13th or 12th, wherever we are on the table. He can't see much higher. He needs Frank Lampard to lift him up over the fence at Derby. No, honestly, I don't think since January we've just been ever since we had the Austin coming back game looked good, and then all of a sudden we were just we were just absolutely wank. So I don't know what it is. I don't even. It's got to be we've come in since Jody Morris has come in. We've been a lot worse. I don't know how we've got worse than we already were because we weren't amazing, and now we are at Crawley's level. We're going to get turned over by Barrow tomorrow, and I think that's a low point for a Swindon fan because I didn't even know what a Barrow was. I thought it was a wheelbarrow until a year or two ago. I didn't even know it was a place. I just knew Carlisle is the North Barrow now. They're like the new Carlisle when Carlisle go up this year. But I think if we don't win another game between now and the end of the season, even if we beat Bradford, because they're just they're a team we just beat and do well against, because that's just they think they're a big side and that they're not. Sorry, Liam, I love you.
Well, fans of Falls will be delighted.
If Morris doesn't win at least 3 games before the end of the season, sack him.
Well, fans of Fools will be delighted to know that on Monday's episode,
we all said a better coach gets more out of these players. Everyone wanted Lindsay out, and arguably Morris is a better coach. Okay, with a slightly worse squad, barring some experienced players. I think if he doesn't win at least 3 more games, sack him because he's clearly not a better coach, and get Woody in.
Fans of Fools will be delighted to know that everyone's favourite closet Swindon fan, Liam, is on the show on Monday to preview Tuesday's game. That'll draw in the numbers for sure. Before we move on, got a comment from Andy on Twitter. I don't listen to everything, but Low Strangers and Fools Rush In have a good take on STFC. They call things as they are, positive or negative, and I hope the club continues to keep them both at arm's length. Snot gobbing defo isn't for me. Not every outlet. Every outlet has its own way of doing things. I think that's the fair way of saying it. And yes, we're not. Well, as we've said plenty of times, the club don't really talk to us at all. Every time we ask the club to talk to us, they say no. So that's why we get to be the way we are. And yeah, we will call it out. It's shit, and we will tell them why it's shit, and we will continue to tell them why it's shit until they do something about it, because we know they listen, even if they don't want to talk to us. Before we go anywhere, Kieran's gone, which is a shame because Mike asked. Sorry to go back to an earlier point, but how does Kieran's circular cheese grater work? We will find out, Mike. We'll get a video for you.
Does it have a little bucket at the bottom that catches the cheese? So you just grind it.
I will get Kieran to record how it works, and we will post it on all our socials. Kieran's cheese grater.
He'll be called up to the shopping channel soon, so I'm sure he'll sell it all then.
Phil has said some laughing emojis. We're glad that we're able to offer you a little bit of entertainment this evening, so I hope you're well. And where else have we got? Steve saying Big Theo Robinson. Could he be the answer? No. And what else have we got here? Sean, it's Lindsay that's going to turn out that keeps us up thinking about it. It is. Lindsay has got us the points. Oh God. And now all we need is Liam and Mike DMing each other. That's going to cause absolute carnage. Well, let's get back to the game.
Must we?
Yeah, unfortunately we do, Gary. And I'm going to come to you actually and say, if ever there was an opportunity to put some smiles on Swindon fans' faces, how are we going to do it? What sort of where are our areas of danger you think that we can cause them a problem?
They can give away.
And I'll give you a clue. It's not Hutton.
Oh no! They can give away free season tickets. That'd be nice. That'll get smiles on faces.
Half price at the bar.
Half price at the bar, yeah. Free food.
Free season tickets? Sounds like a fucking prison sentence.
The state's paying, doesn't it? No, I don't think there's going to be much smiles. I don't think we're winning tomorrow. I don't think we're going to. I think we'll lose 2-1 with the last minute. They'll beat us 2-1 last minute. The corner.
We love a last-minute conceded goal.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're not winning.
Right, before we move on, could anyone on this panel give me a positive? Just something, please.
3-1.
Yeah, I've got one actually,
Go on, Rich.
and this is going to completely go against what you just said there, and actually completely against what I said last week as well. When Hutton came on Monday, he was actually fucking quality.
Okay.
When he got subbed on, he was probably our best player when he came on.
The rest of the team were terrible anyway, so it wasn't difficult.
Yeah. But by the way,
Charlie Austin's back potentially.
That is a positive.
Positive.
Well, maybe
after his rest.
We'll see.
Yeah,
hopefully Brewitt gets benched tomorrow because he seems to be he seems to have been our bad luck really, because we haven't won a game since he's been playing.
AC says, good to have outlets like yours and LSP, straight talking town fans saying exactly how it is without trying to protect people at the club. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Yeah. At the end of the day, if we're not doing a good job, you'll tell us. And if we're doing a good job, we'd like to think you tell us. So it works the other way. We're here to basically talk to each other about football and hopefully entertain someone. And we're trying our best. Okay, let's look at the opposition then, Ben. Are they? Should we be overly concerned about what they're going to do, or is it just going to be us that costs ourselves again?
I think we just look after ourselves and play their own games. They've got a couple of good players. They've got the lad whose name escapes me, scored a hat-trick on the weekend. They've got Ben Whitfield, probably one of the best midfielders in the league. They've kind of overachieved this season. They've got a really, really canny manager, a really good manager. I like him. So, they've done quite well for themselves this season. They've probably played above the sum of their parts, whilst we have not. But we've just got to look after ourselves. I think we've just got to concentrate on what we do. I think, with the scope for a couple of changes. I hope he doesn't make wholesale changes, because releasing kids into this sort of tepid environment could do them more harm than good, to be fair. So like one or two, like Dorsak to be on the bench and maybe come on rather than start. But I would like to see Dorsak involved more. I would like to see the introductions of Carnu coming off the bench, the odd start, but only 1 or 2. I'd like to see Charlie start as well, Charlie Austin. Fuck knows what happened on Monday, but we could have done with them on Monday. We might have actually scored a goal. But yeah,
Rich is saying no.
No.
Well, it's just saying, look, we had a lot of the ball, we had a lot of possession, and we sat outside in and out around the box. Maybe he would have gotten the end of a cross. Maybe because no one else
didn't have many crosses. The only crosses we had was when Hutton actually came on, to be fair. Lavigne was great defensively, but he didn't really offer much going forward, to be quite honest with you.
So that's an interesting one. So Lavigne, decent defensively, but didn't offer much attacking, which is unlike him, let's be fair. Hutton, as we say, good at attacking, looking atrocious at defending. So really what we need is some sort of hybrid Hutton-Lavigne player.
Yeah, they can just swap over. Once the opposition cross the halfway line, they can swap over.
Okay. Well, apparently Lavigne can play on the wing anyway, so I don't think that's the worst idea.
Midfield, according to Jody Morris.
Yeah,
I would quite like to see Blake Tracy play a left back.
I think.
The one thing I picked up from the pre-match is that both Tomlinson and Blake Tracy both have injuries again.
Oh, Blake Tracy's out as well, is he?
I was listening to the thing. Blake Tracy should be all right. Tomlinson
he's hurt his toe.
Yeah, Tomlinson's touch and go. He may play, he may not, but he might do, depending how he wakes up in the morning. But Blake Tracy will play.
Depends on how he wakes up. On my side, no, I'm not playing.
Are you waking him up, are you, Ben?
But yeah, no, I'm just going what bloody matey said, or Morris said on his.
Morris said, "Oh, it just depends on how he feels."
No, he did. He said, what side of the bed he wakes up. It's all right, then he'll probably get a game.
Joe, let me ask you. With regards to Tomlinson, we all were of the opinion, and I think for the most part, he is a player with some talent about him. I don't think that can be questioned. When you see his injury record, is there at least a part of you that would say it's not worth us signing him in the summer?
Yeah, yep. We've already got a left back that never plays in the squad.
Yep.
Well, actually two if you count Ellis as well. So you got Devine and Iandolo, two left backs there that can barely get on the pitch. We don't need another one.
Very true.
Don't get me wrong. He's a local lad, and he's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential to be a good footballer. But if you're going to get 10, 15 games out of him a season, what's the point?
No, it's very true. And then the other option that we've got, obviously, for that position, as AC says here, FPT, been solid most of the time, but fuck me, was a liability against Mansfield, wasn't he? Running through treacle. He makes a lot of mistakes. And Woody, that's something you've said in the past. A lot of people would suggest that FPT is a very strong contender for player of the season, but he is liable to mistakes.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, when I think about it over the course of the season, I'd probably say that the back four that we have at the moment is a relegation back four. If I'm brutally honest, I think, FBT puts his head on the line. I'm not going to take that away from him, but so did Zakuani. And it's just kind of, I agree. I think we just need to get FBT back out on left back, but we didn't recruit a centre back, so we kind of got no choice. I say the same about Tomlinson. Really, I think as much a talent he has got, the one thing he's proven to me is that he can't defend. So it's kind of, it's difficult. But and like Joe was saying, if we're only going to get 10 games out of him, why are we paying probably quite high wages for somebody who we're only going to get 10 games out of a season? And it does, it's not a nice thing to say, is it? Because like Joe said, he's a local lad. But with FBT, I still stand by it. I think that he is liable to a lot of mistakes, but he goes kind of unnoticed because sometimes he makes up for those mistakes, whereas the others will make mistakes and then probably never make up for them. I'd agree with that, actually, Sean. There is that age-old argument of whether a player is better when they're on loan as to when they actually sign, the curse of the contract type thing. But yeah, I would agree. He was better pre-injury, basically. He was, but I do think that his marking's pretty poor for a defender. He does lose his concentration sometimes. He's not particularly great at carrying the ball forward. So I just think that maybe he's the better of not a great defence.
On that note, Gary, if I was to flip it, hoping, and it is hope more than expectation, is defending, like proper defending as we would see it, a lost art?
Well, it is in Swindon squad, yeah. But I don't think it is anywhere else. I still think you need a centre back that can go in the win headers and just smash it into Rose Ed. I'd rather have one of those than two players who walk out with the ball and then lose it on the halfway line and get done. Give me two centre backs to just clear the ball. I don't need wing backs, need bomb forward. They can sit, as far as I'm concerned, is have four midfielders who want to do the rest. Woody wants to come in.
Sorry, I've got a quick question. It's very much related to that. Bearing in mind we just spoke about traditional defenders, one defender I think we have really missed this season is Dion Conroy, and he isn't a traditional defender.
He's just a good, solid defender.
Yeah, I genuinely think we really have missed him this season. I know he hasn't really played that much either, but I think even me, when I've criticised him, I'd sit back and go, fuck me, how much would I love to have Conroy back right now? But yeah, sorry, Gary. It was just because it was very related to that kind of traditional defender comment. Yeah, probably in my opinion, the defender we've missed the most recently was not a traditional defender.
Good point.
Rob has tweeted in again, FBT, much better at left back. And this is an interesting one, actually, that's just come through, which I'll flash up on the screen from the YouTube chat. Has the standard of medical care dropped this season with the physio being off on maternity? Or has it now got to the stage where players don't want to play through the pain barrier? Certainly an interesting question. I couldn't possibly suggest either way.
She's only been Ali's only been off on maternity leave recently. She hasn't been off.
Yeah,
it's only been a few weeks,
and she's still been in contact with them as well.
Exactly. So it's not like she did that during when she had her first child as well. She was still, I think she had a baby and then she was pretty much straight back in the mix. Yeah. So so it's not like she's had much time off. So yeah.
So I think if you go back through seasons in the past, you'll find that when you have a successful season, players want to play football, whether they're injured or not.
Yeah.
When the team's struggling like we are at the moment, players aren't quite so keen because fans are getting on their backs and things like that. Just generally, if you go back through the seasons when we've been relegated or when we've struggled, we've used 40-odd players because players have injuries, don't want to risk injuries, whatever.
He was having injections last year.
Exactly. And then like last season, I'm sure at one point we had 4 or 5 players carrying injuries, but they were determined to play because the team was doing well and the fans were backing them and all this. So, yeah, I think it's I don't know what the right word. I don't want to sort of sound like I'm being a bit of a twat, but I think a bit of a mentality thing. You know, when the club's on the crest of a wave, you want to be involved. The same as fans. The fans want to go to you want to go to Tranmere away because we're flying, but because we're shit, you're thinking, no, I ain't going to Tranmere away. And, there's an element of that with the players, I think.
Makes perfect sense. Before we go through predictions and stuff for tomorrow, because it's a kind of lighter show, I have gone on to the ever reliable Swindon Town Fyfie website to get a list of players who have represented both clubs. Now, I know we usually do this when we have an opposition fan on as well, but I just want to read a few out to you. And obviously, we know Hutton would be on there, and we know that Wakeling's on there as well. But there's a couple of other recognisable names.
Ollie Banks, yeah.
Ollie Banks was there.
Thanks.
I was going to start with Jack Barthram.
Oh, wow.
Is he there?
The right back.
Oh my
God.
That's a blast in the past.
I think that was that not his hometown?
That was under Mark Cooper, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mark Cooper.
Mark Cooper season, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Barthram was a squad player.
Little right back, wasn't he?
Nathan Burns.
Yeah. Yeah, he was never getting in front of in front of Nathan Byrne.
No, of course not. Also on the list is Andy Nicholas.
Oh, bloody hell. He scored against Barnet once, didn't he? That's about it.
One hell of a throw on him.
I like Nico. I like Nico. He's a good player.
I like Nico.
Didn't he play in the Legends game at Supermarine?
Yeah, I think he did.
Rich, when we went to watch, the one that Ivan Graham was in, and Andy Nicholas. I swear he was having a chat, wasn't he, with Matty Taylor?
Oh, yes, he was. Yeah, he was.
He's Scouser, isn't he?
That's it.
Yeah. He was there. Yeah. Ledge.
Speaking of Ledge, also on the list, Matty Haywood.
Matt Hayward played for him.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Did not know that.
He was like 46. 46 when Barrow were in non-league.
Probably not. Probably when he was a youngster on loan, wasn't it? I'd have thought.
Also on the list, one Mr. Brad Barry.
Yeah.
Was that after us? No, he was Chesterfield after us, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was the one after Chesterfield. I think he got them. I think he helped them get promoted.
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one investor relative that got a game because supposedly, allegedly, so no one gets sued. Got a game because a member of the family put money in the club. That actually wasn't god awful. He was pretty bad, but he actually, he could play it right back, but it wasn't that good.
And for those of slightly more advancing years, other recognisable names include Mark Seagraves.
Mark Seagraves, liked him, good defender, proper defender.
Good player.
Steve Finney.
Rest in peace, God bless you, Stevie Finney.
Absolutely. Who else? Any other sort of jump out names that I'm seeing here? Not really.
Wakeland played for them 2 seasons
Hutton
ago.
and Wakeland. It's the Hutton Wakeland derby.
And Andy Much as well. We'll throw
Andy Much.
Andy Much.
Andy Much was the first player that I got my name on the back of my shirt. Funny story about that. We're Swindon in the Premier League.
We have to hear it.
Yeah, we have to hear it.
Swindon, no, home at Chelsea. And our little 13, 14-year-old Ben's got 25 Much on the back of his shirt. And some of the Chelsea fans walking out the ground, they're just beating us 3-1, were absolutely giving me loads of shit because fucking I had Andy Much on the back of my shirt. They had like Nigel Shipley and stuff like that. They weren't much better. Those Chelsea fans giving me grief because I had Andy Much on the back. But I liked Andy Much. He was a good player. Better player.
Right, Ben, it was a really funny story.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you told us.
I forgot to laugh.
Just waiting for that punchline.
Yeah, sorry. It was a bit
Sorry,
ridiculous.
Ben.
Sorry.
I joke with you, Ben, of course.
I know. I'm just drunk.
Let's just go back to the food talk.
Food talk. Right, let's do predictions then for tomorrow. I'll start in the bottom corner as I'm looking at it. So, Joe?
Barrow are going to be up for this because they've still got a slim chance of playoffs. So I can only see a defeat 2-1, I think.
Okay. Rich?
Well, if they've still got a chance of playoffs, then I'm going to say we're going to win 1-0. But I don't think we will. I think it'll be 1-1. I think we'll stop them from getting 3 points.
Okay. Gary?
Yeah, I'm sticking my 2-1 with a 95th minute winner for Barry.
Ben?
2-1 the mighty Swin. Obviously, we'll turn up because they have to win and we'll shithouse them. 2-1 Swin.
Woody?
We're going to lose
Oh,
2-1.
Nice and positive end. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. That's the
let's-
first thing. I think that's the first time I've actually predicted we're going to lose as well.
Let's go slightly wider with our preview now. We joked many weeks ago about the need for the mythical 8 points. And I think since we joked about it, we've lost 4 games in a row. So here you go, boys. There's our remaining fixtures. Ben, how many points do you realistically see us getting?
Realistically, right. Well, I said we'll beat Barrow, so I can't change on that. So that's 3. We'll get absolutely fucking dicked by Bradford. And I said that could be 5 or 6. So that would be 0.
Oh, Ben.
I think we'll draw 1-1 at Wimbledon. So that's 4. I think we'll lose to Stevenage. So it stays on 4. I think we can sneak a 1-0 at Crewe. So 4 turns to 7 and 10. Because I think we'll beat Crawley. God, I'm so positive.
10 points.
10 points. Where's that come from? That's ridiculous.
Ben,
I don't think
Ben,
we'll get
how
10
many-
points.
Ben, how
Oh,
many points have we got since before Carlisle when we were doing our predictions for the rest of the season?
None?
Well, I've said mine.
I don't actually know. I'm curious. I know we haven't won since. But,
Oh, the Carlisle one, I said we'll finish with like 77 points or something like that. So that's fucking not happening, is it? So I'm clearly going to be wrong here. But yeah, I've just worked out.
Okay, so you've given us 10 points from the
given
last
us
6 games.
unbelievably 10 points. Unbelievably fucking.
Gary, you're next. Can you give us an equally positive 10-point end to the season?
I can't see it getting more than 5.
yeah,
I
I'm
generally
with you on
cannot.
that. I'm
I
with
think we
you.
get a draw at Crewe. We might beat Crawley at home, and maybe a draw at Wimbledon. I think everyone else beats us.
Okay. So we've got a 10 and a 5. Rich, where are you plotting yourself on that map?
Well, considering we've only won 3 points since the 4th of March.
That's shocking.
So
I knew I'll
that's
get grief for
almost-
10 points.
that's almost a month and a half now.
Come on, Rich, give us some points.
Unless something drastically happens tomorrow, I can't see it. I'm with Gary. I can't see us getting more than 6 points pushing it because I think we've got to get a win. We've got to. Otherwise, Morris is gone. Yeah, I don't know who they're going to be against. I'm hoping it'll Yeah, I don't know who it's going to be against. I'm just hoping 6 points minimum. Really hope.
Woody, can you understand why there are some fans saying they can't see us winning a game for the rest of the season?
Miserable bastards.
The answer is yes, Woody.
Yes, I can. Can you put the fixtures up again?
I can indeed.
And then, Joe, could you I'm going to need your help here. Could you lean slightly there and just nod your head if... Right, so I think we're going to lose to Barrow. Bradford have got something to play for? Yep.
Yep.
So we'll win that.
Playoffs.
That's 3 points. Wimbledon haven't got anything to play for. Nope. So we'll lose that. 3 points. Stevenage have, so that's 6. Crew haven't. So that's still 6. And Crawley have, so that's 9. We're getting 9 points.
Woody's gone for 9.
Barrow have got something to play for tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've already predicted Barrow to lose against Barrow, so I don't want to go back on that.
Oh, go on,
Right,
6
Joe.
points.
So to
Go
clarify,
12.
we've
12
got
points.
a 10, a 5, a 6, a 9. Where are you going?
Well, when Woody was running down his there, I ended up with 7. So I think 7 absolute maximum.
7 maximum. So out of a possible 18, only one person is suggesting that we might get 50% of the points available. Oh, no, sorry, 2, because Woody said 9. 2 out of the 5 of you are saying we might get 50% of the points available to us between now and the end of the season. More worryingly for me is 3 of you have said that we're not even going to get the 8 points, so we're on course for a possible worst ever points tally in the Football League. Wow.
Swindon Town since 1879. Because 1879 we've been around.
Sean's given 7 points as well. Think we win at Wimbledon with the big support there.
Are we bringing a big support? I wonder. I don't know if we're going to bring as many as we've...
Mike Dixon, anyway, we're getting 3 points as if the coach driver gets caught speeding.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Isn't it 6 points now?
And it may well be, yeah. And we knew someone would fact check it for you. 2 points since Carlisle Rich from the remaining.
I knew. I counted the Leighton Orient one, to be fair. But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
So there we go. So slightly more optimistic if you're looking at it from Ben and Woody's perspective. There's a positive to make people happy.
I've been drinking gin.
But yeah, Ben is drinking. So there we go. Before we move on, does anyone have anything else they want to add about tomorrow's game specifically?
Don't be shit.
Just don't be shit.
But they will be
It's a
shit.
simple message.
I'm
they will
travelling
be
all the
shit.
way down from Stratford-upon-Avon with my son. It's like a Freddy Daddy day. We get my dog. We're going to have a lovely day. Please don't make me be angry.
Don't you do that every home game?
I know. No, Jack's not coming. Jack's
Jack's had enough.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Jack's had enough. He's a sensible one.
Jack's had his dad. Jack's talking about going to Wembley with Millwall. So he's like, all right.
Lovely. Well, least said about that, the better, Jack, is what I'm going to say. Let's move on then. And Woody, Rich, let's preview the women's game if we can this weekend. It's the last chance to see Swindon Town women play in Swindon this season. They're at Foundation Park. I believe they've also been advertised as appearing on the pre-match TSTBL Twitter space to sort of promote the game on Sunday. They'll be at the county ground tomorrow. And if all goes to plan, Rich, there may be a little Fool's Rush In surprise at the game at Foundation Park as well, courtesy of young Nicholas.
Yeah, so Nick hasn't told me fuck all about it, by the way. So
He hasn't told anyone.
He hasn't told anyone, so I have no idea what I'm in for here. And it could be I have one look at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking back in my car. So I really don't know what to expect at all. But it's definitely something that Nick has put a lot of work into.
He has.
So I really hope it'll be received well and receptive really well. I'm sure it will be. In terms of the game itself, I think with everything that's gone on with the women's team over the last 2 weeks or so. I think it's obviously a little bit. I don't think the girls have taken it too badly. I think they're just getting on with it. It seems. Woody will probably know a bit. Yeah, Woody will probably know a bit more about that than me. But yeah, I think I think it'd be. I think it's definitely a game that they should probably be winning. Portishead haven't. I think they're about 9th or 10th, aren't they, Woody? So yeah, I think I'd like to think that the women's team's going to finish on a strong point. And personally for me, I've said this already. I think they have overachieved this season. They've had some blinding results. I still remember that Bournemouth game at Foundation Park. And I know Joe and Craig will remember the one against Larkle, the 2-1. And so if they can get another cracking game like that on Sunday, I think whoever's going to be there, I think they're in for a treat.
Yeah, we really do hope. We've been very, very lucky and very fortunate to have a number of the Swindon Town women's players feature this season for the season that they've had and the engagement with the sports, not just through us, but through other podcasts and just through what you hear about the reception they're getting in public as well. We really do hope that they get a decent crowd at Foundation Park. And anyone who does turn up, again, as Rich said, Nick hasn't told us exactly what he's got planned. So whatever it is, if anyone can grab some pictures for us, we would love to. We would love different people's perspectives on it. That is for sure. Woody, tell us if you can a little bit more about what people might be able to expect from the game.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, as Rich said, I think it should really be a Swindon win. I was just trying to find how Portishead have got on this season. Obviously, I know they're down the bottom end of the table. But they have won 6, and I seem to think that one of those was quite a shock result, and I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Was that not against Moneyfields?
No, I can't find it. They played too many games, bastards. But the so I mean, Swindon beat them 3-1 earlier in the season. I mean, Portishead, to be fair, came up from what is now Bassett's division, so they probably were expected to have a struggle. I think they did last season still in the National League, but I mean, there's got to be a response to last week's game as well. From what I mean, I don't really have any further intel apart from the fact that I think the dust has kind of settled now around all of last week's news, and the players, as Rich said, just getting on with it. To be fair, I've seen some of the photos from training, etc., still look like there's some positivity going on in there. So, and obviously, as we've said, and as I've said many times, we're still a fan, so we want them to do well. The only thing I could say, apparently the Devs are playing this weekend. I don't know who's managing them. That's an interesting one. I don't know whether Key and Ellie are stepping up from the under-18s to manage them, but so they're back in action this weekend. I think the club have advertised that as well. So it's it would be good to get a crowd. Obviously, I won't be there, but it would be good to get a crowd down to Foundation Park again, because I do think that. I think Christian's actually said it a few times that Foundation Park is a good opportunity for the women to make that their home. Like, yes, okay, we want the good games at the county ground every now and then, but Foundation Park's a really lovely facility, and if they can build something on that and make that kind of the home turf, that'd be brilliant. That'd be really good. And they've got a tough couple of fixtures coming up after Portishead. They've got Cardiff and Exeter, so 2 real tough fixtures coming up with both teams. I believe we'll still have something to play for. So, it's a really good opportunity to maybe go in the next couple of weeks and upset the titles.
I was just sorry, Fyfie. I was just going to say, just going back to the point of the results that Portishead have had. They beat Chelsea back to back, home and away, and they also beat Exeter in the FA Cup. They won 2-0 there. That's the only real shock results that I can see. I think Exeter. That's quite a big result, that, isn't it?
Yeah, was it Exeter? Was it? Did you
Yeah,
say?
it was Exeter. Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, sorry,
I know.
Fyfie.
It's all right, Woody. I was going to say, I know we spoke at length last week about the situation and news that was breaking, and like you say, the dust seems to have settled on it now. When we see comments like this, which, in my opinion, for a large group of the supporters who are still immersing themselves and learning the way of women's football, you can kind of understand and appreciate why that would be. We just hope that these sorts of comments aren't what detract people from going to watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we've got to remember that fundamentally it's the players that we're going to watch. You know, what goes on behind the scenes and all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's the same with the men's if you think about it. Like, well, as you know, it's not the same with the men's. That's a really bad example because I don't really give a shit about their players. But yeah, it's, you know, at the end of the day, we've got players like Bowd, like Ree, like players that are really loyal to Swindon who still need the support, who still want the support. I think you know, and it's quite an interesting comment from Royston in the chats there as well about me doing the Jilted X act, which I'm sure you lads know me well. It's probably the far from what I actually am, but it's. I don't think it was a. I don't know. Is it a PR stunt? I really don't know. I would love to potentially get whoever made the decisions onto our show to come and explain the decisions, why it couldn't wait until the end of the season. You know
that involves club officials talking to us, and they don't like to do that.
I was. It does make me think. You know that. You know, from a personal point of view, if I hadn't left, would I have got the chop? You know, kind of thing. It does make you think that. Of course it does, but obviously I left, so it's I just hope it doesn't bite him in the ass more than anything. You know, because we can't deny that whether Lally, KP, Ethan, whatever is your cup of tea, it's been a pretty good season for the women. So you know, it's been one of their best seasons. You know, in terms of in recent history,
on and off the pitch as well.
Yeah. So I just feel like. I don't necessarily say that them going was necessarily the wrong move. It was just the timing of it all, I think, was really bad. And the fact that they appointed so quickly suggests, you know, Rich and I would know. In fact, everybody would know. Nobody's oblivious, but Rich and I would definitely know that means that conversation's been going on for a long time with Mike Cook, you know, and, you know, so it's not something that they've just rung him up the week before. That's been going on. And I don't know, as somebody who equally gives a lot of their time to the game, I would hate that to have happened to me. You know, even when, so I have been sacked as a volunteer before from Oxford City. I got sacked as a volunteer, but I was still given to the end of the season. You know, I was told that I wouldn't be needed at the end of the season. And that's, you know, I took that fair enough. And it worked out well because I took half a squad with me to Abingdon and then look what happened there. So, but it's, you know, so it's, yeah, they need to pull out of it because I think that will put a bit of a dark shadow over for the rest of the season. You know, and if it works out, then it works out. It's the right decision. I'm not saying that they necessarily had to have somebody with women's football, as AC said there. I just think it helps because I think that it's not a different game, but it's a different mentality. It's a different way of approaching things. You know, women's football is still you're playing two games. You're playing a catch-up game with, you know, trying to make people want to go watch women's football, as well as developing that group of players you've got there. And I think if people know the area, Wiltshire is a really, really hard place to develop players in terms of, because Swindon are the biggest team in here. We don't have the Bristol Cities. We don't have the Readings, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes we are kind of just developing within the county, unless we're appealing to the outside. So, yeah. So, you know, hopefully it's the right thing. We'll wait and see. You know, I still wish them the best from a selfish perspective as well. So, but yeah, I don't think it helps. Any bad PR never helps any situation. So, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily know what the fans' relationship with the previous management was. Will people hold that against them? Probably not. The same way that if we lost, our favourite manager in the men's team, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to go back next week.
Of course.
Listen, like football's always a gamble at the end of the day, and obviously, whatever the at the top of Swindon Town, because I'm assuming this was Rob, Clem, and whoever else, Zav, Austin, maybe that's made this decision, and I don't think they're ones to talk about, because I've never seen them at, well, apart from the games at the county ground, I've never seen them at a women's game at Fairford. I don't know if you have, Woody. So
no, I know Clem was at Seaward, but that was only because he was in London.
That was right. So... yeah. So I don't think they're ones to talk about women's football. So I think obviously the fact that they've done this proves, I think, a lack of judgment, a lack of the bigger picture, not the bigger picture, because I think the bigger picture is that they want them obviously in the higher league, and they think, by getting UEFA Pro or UEFA A licensed coach is the way of getting them there. So, but it's a gamble at the end of the day, and if that's the gamble that they want to take by paying a UEFA Pro licensed coach to maybe or maybe not get them to tier 3, I think it's all about contacts in the women's game. And if you've got that contact base of getting some of the best players in tier 3 and tier 4 into your team and getting you promoted from tier 4 up to tier 3, I think your job's a goldmine, and you're going to get that team promoted. And Woody will know so much about that, because he did that with Abingdon. Like he said, he took half his squad from Oxford City with him to Abingdon and got them promoted back to back to back. So it's all about who you know in the women's game. And does what's the name of the new manager? Is it Andy Cook or something Cook?
Mike Cook.
Mike Cook. Obviously they talk about him having the academy, the non-existent 12 to 16 academy women's team. It'd be interesting to see what contacts he has in the game, because I think in that part, I think he might struggle.
Okay, but again, just to
I'd also like to congratulate Royston for his really shit commentary tonight. By the way,
he's popped on. Normally, he engages with Christian for 5 minutes, and it's pleasant. It seems to be unleashing a bit of frustration tonight, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Obviously, doesn't like women's football, but loves Coronation Street.
But one last time, Swindon Town women at Foundation Park on Sunday, 2:00 kickoff. If you can get down to support the ladies, please do. They've said themselves times on this, on Fools Rush Shin, how much they appreciate the support. So it'd be great to give them a good send-off on the last game in Swindon. There is one further fixture in Fairford, of course, still to come. But last one in Swindon for this season. Be great to have a decent crowd there to support them. And, of course, to see what Nick's big surprise is. Let's move on to the parish notices. Just sort of any other business, Swindon Town related. And before I highlight some of the things on the ticker, I want to go into the comments briefly if I can. And Joe, I'll start with you if you like. The name, I think, was Rich, sort of 5 minutes ago, mentioned Zav. And AC said, talking of Zav, just under 2 years ago, the question was asked if Zav has and will pass a fit and proper person's test. 2 years on, we still don't know. Is he still at the club? What's your thoughts on this one? Because he is a name who a lot of people would, people will recognise the name, but wouldn't have a clue who he was if he passed them in the street. But seems to cause a lot of controversy whenever his name is mentioned. You're muted, Joe.
There's always one.
Always one.
Yeah, he's interestingly at the moment. If you look on the website, he's not listed under club staff or directors or anything. So there's maybe something going on there with him. It's always been a bit of a strange one, I think, in my opinion. Quite what's going on there. But who knows? I guess things will come out. Things will come out in the wash in a couple of months' time over the summer, perhaps. What's really happening? But Yeah, I did think it was interesting. I was just taking a quick look through the website the other day, and the only sort of senior management that was listed was Clem Morfuni as the owner. So I found that interesting.
Gary, what's your thoughts whenever the name Zav Austin comes up?
I'm almost like non-perplexed because I don't know what or who he does. You had this Karachi sort of thing that he set up in this taking players on and scouting and stuff over there, or whatever that was about, which we never got to the bottom of. But apart from that, no idea. What is he? Who is he? And what does he do with the club? He's one of those sort of anonymies, isn't he?
Absolutely. And it is one of those ones that, as I say, keeps coming up in AC's comment about as transparent as a fucking concrete block. On situations like this, it's true because there are questions. I think it's right to be answered. Ben, anything you want to add on that one specifically?
Zav's a sort of mystery man, really. He came on at the start of the season on the Supporters Club panel, asked a few questions about him. He promoted the Pakistan project, and he's disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know what he's brought to the club. I don't know what else he's doing. I think the Pakistan project is a bit far-fetched, seeing that they're not going to get any sort of work permit in the country anyway. If we do find this valuable player, I just don't get it. And I didn't really get him, and him not being around really makes no difference whatsoever. But yeah, he's disappeared. So obviously he failed to test because he's not noted anywhere. The club's not made the statement, which is a bit poor showing on them. I think
but has he disappeared? This is the thing. Has he disappeared, or is he just sitting in the background somewhere?
He's not. He's all of a sudden he's disappeared off the website.
Yeah, but
he's not listed anywhere, so he's been taken off. So obviously something's happened. Again, it's a question for Rob or Clem, but they need to practice their transparency that they promised, because they're keeping very quiet at the minute. I'd love a statement from them at some point of what we're going on. It's just fans need something.
And the infamous corner flag photo.
Yeah, well, yeah.
On the other parish notices, Rich, you mentioned it earlier, so let's bring you in on this one. Anton Dworzak signed his first professional contract.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I think we've seen Dworzak play a few games this season. Obviously, I think Joe, you saw him play a few times in pre-season, didn't you?
Yeah. I've seen him a few friendlies and a few youth team. I've actually been down to a couple of the youth team games. And, this lad, he looks a real player. He looks a real talent.
Yeah, I think definitely when he came on against Barrow as well in the away fixture around Christmas time, I thought when he came on, I thought he was absolutely exceptional. So
Adloy, didn't he? I think
he did. He almost assisted Adloy. So I think he could be a real talent for the future, and hopefully we can keep our tabs on him, like what we're doing with Minturn. I still think Minturn should be getting more games at the moment, especially instead of Brewitt. But I think also, I think it's positive, and hopefully he can get some game time between now and the end of the season, so we can really see what he's really like and whether or not he might even fit into the plans for next season.
The interesting thing for me is they've straight away given him a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
And that, I think that shows how much the club think of him. Most of
they think he's going somewhere.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it's going to put value on him for sure anyway with a 2-year contract. But most of these lads only get a 1-year first-year professional deal, and they've given Anton a 2-year deal straight away. So he's obviously highly rated at the club, and perhaps has got other teams looking at him already.
I honestly thought he already signed his first professional contract last summer, but obviously not. So yeah, kudos to him. 2-year deals.
I want to big up former midfielder Danny Rose here, because I was talking to him whenever he was the under Wellens, wasn't it? So we're talking three years ago, and he said to me then, there's a 14-year-old lad called Anton Dworzak who's going to be a quality player. So
wow,
big up Danny Rose there for a bit of early scouting.
Woody, penultimate topic topic under this bracket. We have to say congratulations to the Community Foundation for their nomination in the EFL Awards.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I can't remember which award it was last year, but they were in awards last year when it was a project of the year. I think it was last year.
Project of the year.
I saw a quote, and I think it might have been CK. The club are really lucky to have the foundation, I think, is probably the best way to put it. The stuff that they do, obviously they provide a girls' academy according to the club. I'm joking. No, genuinely, that's credit to all the people in there. And when you look at roles in football, they aren't the best paid in terms of that, but you never really see too much of a turnover of staff in the foundation. In terms, you see a couple of people leave here and there, which just goes to show how passionate they are, because most of those could probably go get a coaching job elsewhere, and that's testament to what they're doing. Obviously, Nigel Eady plays a massive part in that, because they wouldn't be able to do most of it without that, and it just seems they do have a nice bit of a clever business model as well to be able to keep funding things like this, and it's fantastic. The work they do is great. As you guys know, my Arlo's in there. He's only in the foundation centres, but small things like that are just, they're brilliant. So, absolute credit where it's due. I hope, they come out with something on it, because it would be nice to have some good news this season. Yeah. And like I say, they're doing it the right way. I know a lot of clubs are doing it now, but keeping it separate from the club as well. So it's their own money pot. It's their own, their own business model. They're just like a trading arm, if you like. It's fantastic, and I think the whole town should be proud of that, regardless if you like football or not. And the whole town should be, thankful to the likes of Nigel Eady for has put Swindon on the map in terms of the football map. So just because of the work those guys do, but those guys are coming up with the ideas as well. Let's not take away credit from them. So let's just hope they keep it going, and let's hope that it's the whole setup just doesn't die down.
And the last thing for this particular topic tonight, we're always happy to promote stuff, as we've said all along, and whether it's from one of our own or from fellow fans doing stuff. In this occasion, he was on earlier tonight, so it'd be wrong of me not to flash it up. But we mentioned previously that Kieran has embarked on a musical adventure. He's releasing his own music now, and as of today, his second single, Me and You Equals Home, is available on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. I'm sure he would be very, very grateful if you'd give it a listen, a like, a buy, etc.
I feel like that needs like a Soccer AM. It's available in all good record stores and some bad ones.
There you go. But no, we're very proud for Kieran giving something a go, and we'll continue to promote where it is. And if he has at some point, we'll ask him to maybe provide some snippets of royalty-free music so we could actually play it for you. But that's one for the future, along with a video of his cheese grater, of course. Now, gentlemen, for the main event of the evening, something you've had very little information on, but something most of you have worked very hard on. I have, I'll be honest, and I don't mind admitting this, and I think it was Kieran suggested earlier, there's a reason that I'm single. And because I am single, I have plenty of time alone in my house, not doing much. So over Easter, play that little violin for me, Woody. Over Easter, I don't know why, but I started watching clips from the YouTubers, the Sidemen, the likes of KSI and crew, for those who aren't quite as familiar. I'll be honest, they're quite entertaining. I've watched a shitload of them over the last week or so, and it gave me inspiration for this week's game. It's not a quiz. It's not anything like that. The guys will be glad to know. There was one particular. Good to see we're all still talking about football, says Kieran. Indeed. they did one particular video I watched was they were given £11,000 each to go and buy presents for each other, and then half of them didn't get very good reactions. So it got me thinking, could the fools buy their fellow fools gifts and get a good reaction? And who would do it really well and who not so well? So big thanks to Sarah. She was given no information at all, and she helped me randomly allocate people who they were buying for and their budget. Virtual money of either 10, 50 or £100, because I thought 11 grand was just too easy for you boys. So everyone was asked. So to clarify, Nick was allocated me, and he was allowed to spend a maximum of a tenner. Craig was given Gary and was given a budget of £100. Joe had a tenner to spend on Rich. Woody had 50 quid to spend on Nick. Rich got a tenner for Wazza. Ned was given £100 for Woody. Warren had 50 quid for Ben. Gary got a tenner for Ned. Ben, £100 for Mark. Kieran got £50 for Craig. Mark had £100 for Joe. And I was given just a tenner to get Kieran a gift. And I'm pleased to say...
What's the game, Fyfe? You seem to be telling us all the answers.
No. The game is who got the best reaction gift, not who got who. Who gets the best? Who do we feel did the best with the money they had available? That's what it is.
Put the pictures up, and we can at least guess who it's for. Then.
That's fine. Yeah, the ones that have sent me pictures, they're loaded up and ready, and those that haven't, I've got the texts ready as well. Oh, hang on, we've got.
I had to pay a paper bag charge.
Oh, hello. He's back again.
Kieran's back.
He's back.
We promote his music. He comes back on. Look.
It's only because I was watching. I saw about the game. I just got back, so I was like, I need to be here for this.
Okay. So I will start with the picture rounds, and I mean, because of how they're done, it will give it away who some of them are. But this is Gary's gift. He's been taken to Salford to do a tour of the BBC studios where they film the One Show. Going to get his picture taken with Alex on the sofa, and he'd definitely be a better presenter than Genus.
Yes.
And then I got a follow-up to say that tour's only worth about $12.99. So the rest of the budget, he'd be taken out on the piss before Craig steals his chips.
Ah, bug.
Are you happy with your gift there, Gary?
I'll take both 100%.
Somebody put a lot of thought into that.
I was going to say, I didn't put half of it.
Yeah. Don't bother sharing mine.
I'll drink to that.
Good lads. Next up, Kieran, this is your gift. I struggled with what to get you, but in the end, I thought you might appreciate this.
I think that's really cool.
So it's a electronic dancing DJ pig with flashing lights. Well within my £10 budget.
Take it back to the shop.
Are you happy with that, Kieran?
No, he's not.
That's the content we're after. Now, Joseph, you have a 4-part gift.
Ooh.
Mark went to town with his budget for you. Are you ready?
How much did he have again? £100.
Mark had £100 spent on Joe.
Oh.
So, part number 1. Personalised beard grooming kit.
Yeah, that's quite a good present. That's a good present.
Yeah, that is a good
I
present.
got
I like
one for
that.
Christmas this year. I was gutted when I didn't get one for Christmas.
Part number 2 is a...
Not a beard. It's the scalp.
He's looking happy so far, boys. Part number 3.
Oh, mate, he's looked after you this Christmas, hasn't he, mate?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm going to give Mark £100 if he can send all me.
And part number 4.
Ah.
Classy.
Big round of applause.
What's your reaction to Mark's four-part gift for you, Joe?
Well, it's better than any Christmas gift my wife's given me. So
Yeah.
You said that really quiet, Joe. Can you just say that again?
they were very well thought out, and I very
Well
grateful.
done, Mark.
Next up on the picture round is Nick's present for me. And I have to say, when he sent it to me, I was really actually grateful because he's put thought into this because he knows I'm going for my black belt this year. So this would really help with my training. What I have to send an extra special thank you to Nick for is, unlike the rest of the team who understood the assignment, Nick actually bought the gift. He had it delivered today.
Is that coming out of the FRI budget?
He's had it delivered today and has told me next time he sees me, I will actually be receiving my gift from our fake Sidemen challenge.
Joe, you should mention to Mark about
Mention to Mark that Nick actually bought the gift.
That is priceless.
Speaking of Nick, this is one of my absolute favourites. Now, Woody, you said earlier someone's put a lot of thought in and not to show yours. I love what you've got, Nick, and I think the rest of the panel will too. Let's just remind ourselves, you were given a budget of £50 to spend on young Nicholas, and this is what you went for. That's right, 120 centimetre stilts, just so that he can be roughly as tall as the rest of us.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Absolutely superb.
That was good timing for your phone to die, Kieran.
Excellent. Next up, we've got Gary's gift for Ned. And you were only given, like me, you only had the tenner to spend, didn't you, Gary?
Yeah, £10.
But I think you did sensationally well, as you came up with this.
Yeah.
My gift for Ned, in honour of his favourite international player, Sade. I'll even throw in a marker pen so he can write a message of love on it.
That's good. I like
that.
That was
Joe was one of the first to send his gift back in terms of what he was getting. Rich, this is what Joe has got for you. How Rich People Think book. We have some other entries which were not sent in picture form, so I'm just going to load them up very quickly. The first one came from Warren, and he was given Ben, as we said earlier, and he sent two. He sent two different versions. So Ben, you can choose which of these you'd like. His first is he would like to treat Ben to an afternoon tea for two with Scott Lindsay. Or the second option, he would give you £50 worth of Long's Bar cocktails after the way you went through them on the night out.
Oh, do you know what? I'll probably go for
afternoon tea with Scott Lindsay. Let's move on.
Okay, cool. I'll tell him where he's gone wrong.
For fuck's sake.
Of course you
Leaving Swindon.
Next up, Rich's gift for Wazza. He wants to get him a model car. He hadn't specified which one, but you want to get Wazza a model car, which I think he'd appreciate.
Well, I was thinking of it. What's the circuit with the cars?
Scale Electric.
Scale Electrics. That was it. That's probably over a tenner, but yeah, something like that.
In a way, I'm actually quite glad that Kieran didn't send his in picture form. So I'm just going to read Kieran's gift for Craig as he sent it to me. A Big Daddy paddle, £2. A Ringmaster's costume with a whip, £30. A wig, £2. Cheap from Asda. £15 blue suit. And a card that says Happy Anniversary, Craig and Vicky. £1.50, bang on.
Fucking hell.
Well done.
Oh, that was good.
Superb effort from Kieran, that's for sure. Next, we go to Who's the last one? Ben's gift for Mark. And I say the last one because, as suggested, Ned is the only one who hasn't managed to pick his gift yet. So Woody hasn't got a virtual gift to receive.
Woody.
Fucking cunt, they won't invite him
So
back
we
on.
will. I'm sure. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's working on it. So Ben's gift. And again, I think Ben's done really well. If I could just find him on there we go. He is gifting to Mark a Gloucestershire rugby shirt to the value of £50 and 50 £1 scratch cards in the hope that he gets at least another tenner out of all of those.
Oh, well, that was my other thing for Warren, was to get him just 2 £5 scratch cards. That was my other.
And here is Nick. Nick, who actually bought the gift, and he's put in the chat. It was accidentally ordered.
Accidentally bought one. Accidentally put your bank details in.
He pressed the buy now button, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got the one-click buy, isn't he? Because Nick's just got loads of
Joe
money.
probably
so he just
packed
clicks
it.
Yeah.
So
It's got the order.
having been through them all, then it's time for the panel to vote who wins the game of best gift. Ben,
I'd say.
and you're not allowed to vote for yourself, obviously. Who do you think is gifted? Mark bought Joe's gifts.
Joe's gift, perfect. I would have loved that.
Okay, Woody?
Just because of the T-shirt more than anything, I'll go Joe's gift.
Joe's gift as well. Wow. I just want to remind everyone of the. Before anyone else says that Mark got the best gift, let's just remember how good.
Remember the dancing pig, the DJ pig.
Dancing pig.
Gary, who are you awarding the prize to?
I have to go with Joe's. I got no beard clearly, but those T-shirts. Oh my wow. Yeah, Joe's.
Rich.
Big.
I gotta say, yeah, Joe's gift. I gotta say, that or Ned's gift, the sink kits. But now I'm gonna say Joe's gift.
Okay, Joe, who are you gifting the win to?
I mean, generally, I'd vote myself, but I'm not allowed to, so don't really matter, does it? Let's just vote for Fyfie's gift, eh?
Yes. And Kieran, who's winning the prize?
Because I missed it. What did I get gifted? I forgot. My phone died at that one.
Oh,
you got the pig.
You got the DJ pig.
You got the DJ pig.
Whoever got that has fucking won it, because that's class.
Yes.
It's me in Gibraltar.
I said he'd like that.
So it stands to reason, therefore, that Mark wins with 5 votes, and I come second with 2, and nobody else even got a vote from tonight's panel. So my £8 dancing pig comes in second place to £100 worth of Fortnum and Mason stuff. To absolutely buzzing. Listen, if you are going to the game tomorrow, as we always say, be loud, proud, and please bring home the points. And in the words of one of the guys earlier, if any of the players or staff are watching this by any chance, or even listening tomorrow, please don't
get
be
Jodie
shit.
Morrison stilts.
Oh, you missed? Did you not see the stilts? Nick got given stilts. Hang on. Just for you and Nick, of course, because he may have missed it as well. This was Woody's gift to Nick.
He can't be going on them at his age. You'll fall off and break something.
German ones as well. I love, German ones as well.
Top quality.
High quality wood.
Phil, thank you very much for your time tonight, Phil, who says, great show tonight, guys. Lots of laughter. Have a great weekend and pray for the win. Yes, to both Swindon Town men and women's side, good luck this weekend. Let's hope that both of you will win. And by the time we're joined by Liam on Monday, we're all just a little bit happier. But from the guys and from myself, have a great weekend. We be Fools Rush In. We will see you on Monday. Good night.
Or Tuesday.
Take my hand. take my whole life too, but I can't help falling